Welcome back to the studio. It's time to bring on our first hot shot of the day and hopefully help answer some of those questions you might have on WiMAX.
Okay, and to talk about how KL is gearing towards WiMAX by year.
Thank you for joining us. Before we get into what all these gizmos and gadgets are here on the table, what is WiMAX all about?
Very good questions. In fact, questions been asked many times, Terence. Actually, WiMAX, if you look at it very simply, is a big brother of Wi-Fi.
Big brother of Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay. So if you look at Wi-Fi, you just cover one hotspot. WiMAX can cover the whole city or cover the whole nation if you want to.
Wow.
Yeah. So what you're saying is just on a larger scale, that's it?
Much larger scale. Definitely there's a lot of difference in terms of technology differences as well. WiMAX is on the cutting edge of the next generations of telecommunication technology using what we call IP technology, which is Internet Protocol. So in simple layman terms is that with WiMAX, you can do a lot of things that you wouldn't able to do in the past. Yeah, for example, with WiMAX covered the whole Malaysia in the future, all you need to do is just have gizmo like this, okay, plug into your notebook, okay, and then you'll get onto internet directly. We brought with Kuala Lumpur, we actually have started our project, which you probably have heard about it, called Wireless at KL.
Right,
yeah,
it's
which is
on the banners all over the city.
That's right, on the banners. So today, with if you're in KL, definitely by the end of this year, we'll cover with 1,500 hotspots. Today we have about 200 hotspots around KL, which is free. So as long as you're in KL, you can just get onto the Wireless at KL hotspot, which is powered by WiMAX Cloud right now. Yeah, you can get onto internet for free, for broadband for free. This year, we plan to cover actually 25% of the population in Malaysia, all the way from Kedah down to Johor Bahru, covered by WiMAX by end of 2008. Wow. In fact, by 2010, our plan is to cover 40% of the population of Malaysia with WiMAX, and by 2012, which is 5 years from now, to cover 60% of the population of Malaysia with WiMAX.
Nerd in the closet.
Absolutely. Technology, you can't run away from physics. Yeah. So there's definitely some technology limitations in any wireless technology. But we believe WiMAX, because it's a cutting edge next generations, with some biggest player in the world, which is investing their time and money in it, such as Alcatel-Lucent, such as Motorola, such as Intel, which actually just recently invested in Packet One as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So we believe all these technology challenges, just like mobile phone, when it started, you have some sort of technology limitations as well. You have to go to a certain spot to answer the call, right? Remember a long time ago? Then you become ubiquitous after a while. We believe the same thing will happen for WiMAX as well.
Okay. Now, Michael, tell us a bit more about how you managed to get ahead of your competition, because we understand that apart from your company, three others were actually awarded the WiMAX spectrum, as a licensee last year. So, what makes you have the cutting edge apart from them?
Okay, I guess at the end of the day, Packet One started from a family of technology company which is called Green Packet Group. So we have been doing telecommunication, next generation telecommunications business for the last 8 years. So I guess we believe first of all in terms of vision of WiMAX, and also I think we know the industry. You got to have the right DNA in place. Yeah. So same thing, devices such as this. Yeah. You got to have a network, which is the next generation network, which is WiMAX. You got to have applications. In order to make it work, because what good is so applications such as you were talking about David Cook just now. Yeah. So yeah, in the future, all you need to do, you just have to. The moment you take a video cam, it goes directly to your YouTube, and you can watch David Cook anytime. That's why Intel is one of our biggest partners. Is that they will come up with a lot of the consumer electronic devices which will be embedded with WiMAX chips in the future.
Now, Michael, is there one single platform that the whole world can function on? Like, I understand that over here we're going to use the 2.3 gigahertz spectrum, right? But in the US it's going to be 2.5. So why is there not a standardization?
Very good questions here. Because different countries have allocations, allocated the spectrum for different purposes. For some countries have 2.3 available, some countries 2.5 available. In fact, in the world, WiMAX pretty much predominantly runs on 3 different spectrum: 2.3, 2.5, and 3.5 gigahertz.
Yes.
But whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the silicon chips, which is on all these devices, is all calibrated all the way from 2.3 to 3.6 right now to Wi-Fi seamlessly. You happen to WiMAX as well.
Well, tell us about the gadgets that we have in the studio right here. One looks like a Xbox console, and the other kind of looks like I don't know, khaki.
An inhaler.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we call a USB modem. Yeah, this is very simple. You just carry with you. You just plug this. You just have to connect to your computer or notebook. You're on. That's as simple as plug and play for WiMAX devices. For a question, first in terms of the implementation challenges and things like that, definitely. There's bound to have implementation challenges such as because wireless technology you need to have rooftop, you need to have sites, yeah? So those are the normal challenges you're going to have to roll any wireless technology, even for cellular technology as well. Okay, that's one. Second question was in terms of the whether WiMAX will actually make the current mobile phone dealers or handset obsolete. Yeah. I don't believe so because the mobile phone cellular technology are still mostly used for voice. Just like WiMAX is used mostly for the internet work, okay, which is more for data. So just like you're not going to give away your handphone, okay, just because you need to access the internet. Because internet you use computers, you use notebook, right? It's a different experience, different segment. Just like even though with TV, radio will not be obsolete as well because they're two different experiences. TV is for visions, yeah. Radio, you're on the move, you can listen to it. So I think there's a coexistent, complementary to each other, yeah. So if someone just need to use voice, there's not necessary to use WiMAX technology. Just pick up a cellular phone, you call. But if you need a more ubiquitous experience from multimedia, from YouTube, from MySpace, from Facebook, then WiMAX is definitely the way to go. Yeah, on top of that, definitely WiMAX will also provide voice service because everything is packetized today. It's digitized. So with WiMAX technology, the good thing is voice is just one of the service rather than voice as a core technology offering.
Okay. And to address...
you just have to put you just have to make sure your base station or your coverage will cover the tunnel or cover the high rise as you mentioned just now on cellular as well. Yeah, it's just a coverage issue.
It's a coverage issue. Well, I'm sure, you know, a tunnel is not going to be typing on our computers while we're driving in our car through a tunnel. I hope not.
Well, Michael, we also were informed that you currently have some collaborations with our local mobile providers. Could you tell us a bit more about that and your hopes for the future in how to work towards gearing up KL and Malaysia for WiMAX and also to wind up?
Okay. First in terms of collaborations, Packer One is always open in terms of collaborations with any even mobile operators, cellular operators, or even current broadband players as well. Because we believe the most important thing for us is actually to broadband Malaysia. As many of Malaysians to get broadbanded in a way. Because today the penetrations for broadband in Malaysia is still relatively low. From a population perspective, you only have about 6% of the population which has broadband access today in Malaysia, compared to countries like Korea, compared to countries like Singapore. So one of the major objectives for Malaysian government as well is to make sure as many Malaysians get access to broadband, because broadband, the reason why we need to do that, because in any country, once you get the populations to go on broadband bandwagon, the economic situations of the populations enhances as well. Yeah, in terms of economic returns, what they can do with the connectivity. This one, Second thing for us is actually, it's very important to ensure that we are at the same playing ground compared to the rest of the world by putting our populations being connected to the rest of the world as well. Because without connectivity, you're basically behind. So just like you look at countries like South Korea, when 97 were in the same financial crisis as us, but today they're way ahead of us because they put a lot of emphasis in ICT. So we believe by putting emphasis on WiMAX is one way to actually help our populations to go to the next level playing field, which is competing on a worldwide basis right now.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us, Ms. Michael. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Appreciate your time. Yeah, thank you very much.